Hi guys, welcome to the vlog. So it is about 8:39 on a Tuesday. Um so I'm in dag mode today. I have my nice skirt on, but I have like this stretchy daggy shirt. It's not so daggy, it just doesn't match. It just doesn't go. So I haven't done any more on my tail. Like I said, sometimes I get motivated to do things, and then other times like put over there somewhere. But I am in the process of making a baby for my daughter. Now, I gotta move you back a bit so I can have. So I'm making her another fox. Whatever she's gonna call it is whatever she's gonna call it. But I was able to get a big doll for the baby because she wants a snuggly, cuddly, bigger one. So this is the baby. I have to work on the nose because it's not quite even. You can tell it's not quite even. I need to go a bit more on this side. I gave it orange hair. It's orange, but with darker shades of orange in it. I haven't sealed anything yet. I will once I get it done. I made the face a little orange as well. Now, this does have animatronics in it. The baby cries, laughs, and the arms and face all move. Now, she does not want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it all out, take the mechanics out. You're probably thinking, oh, you're ruining the doll. It costs us $2 when we bought it. So let me just show you real quick how it goes, how it works. You probably already know how it works. If you're a doll collector, you probably know how it goes, what it looks like. So the legs are just legs, right? They're just coming off of this hanging there. You know, they're just legs. But there's like a big piece of foam that goes all the way up into it, and the arms are connected to some type of mechanism along with the face. It is loud. I tell you, it is loud. So when I say she wants the mechanism to get out, it isn't because she just doesn't want it to cry. We have crying babies and she's okay. This is loud. It is, you think it's muffled by the foam in here. Not really. And then also, I said I could take the sound, I could cut the sound off and still have the movement. And then she said, because she's got hyperacusis, which is a sound sensitivity, she said that she'd just hear the mechanism and it would just be awful. It just wouldn't, you know, it'd be awful for her. But let me show you how it goes. I don't know if you can see the face, but the eyes are closed, the head and the arms move. So what I was saying is it's really loud. Even with foam around the speaker, it's still loud. And she does not wish for it to have that. We picked this up at an op shop, you know, yes, we're doll collectors and some dolls stay the same, but some don't, and that's okay. You know, it's up to the individual what they want to do with their doll. So, turns out the porcelain doll is attached, unfortunately. I had no idea it was or wasn't. Apparently it's attached. She told me, not yesterday, the day before. So, it's attached. So what I'm gonna do is take out the mechanism, and it'll just be like a snuggly, cuddly, baby. I'm gonna add more stuff into it, and, you know, make it all squishy. And yeah, I could have gone with another doll. I could have got just another squishy doll. Well, she kind of liked this one, and, you know, she kind of asked me, could it be the baby that I want? And I said it could. I could turn it into that. So that's my project. So he's got his lovely orange hair. I can't get over his hair. It's beautiful. Look at that hair. I mean, seriously, look at that hair. He is gorgeous with that hair. And the nose. I've got to fix it because it's uneven, as you can tell. Like, it's not quite enough on one side. It's more on this side than there is on this side. But once I fix it and I take the mechanism out, I am going to keep the mechanism. It may be useful for another baby. We may be able to put it into another baby. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But this is what I'm currently working on. He's going to have a orange grow suit with a tail. He's going to have a tail. He's going to be really cuddly. He's going to have fox ears. I did see one on Temu, but I'm not really fussed on it. So I am going to have to look at eBay and look at what's going there. This is going to be part of a Christmas present. So yeah, it's going to, you know, I'm going to fix him up. He will be a, you know, really nice thing. He's adorable. I mean, look at that. Look at his face. He is adorable. He's such a cutie bud. He's going to have a pacifier. I'm going to modify one. It's going to be orange as well. It's going to have like boxes on it or something. So he's going to be cute for my daughter. She's still into dolls, just not, for right now, she's just not into being on camera, and that's okay. That's cool too. So we have this one underway, which is nice. He's so cute. He's adorable. So I just sat him on the frame over there. Clothes. He won't be wearing these when and I've made them orange when I did his face, but that's okay. It'll either wash out or it won't. I'm not super worried about that suit. It's just a spare backup suit that we have, because it came with the doll, so I'm not super worried about it. It's not something that, you know, like, it's not a real fancy outfit or anything. So yeah, I have been looking at the babies, and just this one is going to be either sold or given as a present. I'm not sure who to yet. I honestly don't know. Like I said, I've changed my mind on giving it to my brother. We're going to go with Lego instead. Just because he has indicated that, you know, I like the babies, but at your house where I can, you know, come visit and play with them. And that's cool. That's totally cool. And I've been doing some reading. I have this book that I'm currently reading. It is Sarah Pinborough. It's called The Taken. And let me tell you, it is, you look at that picture, yeah, it's a horror book. Dang, yeah, it's a horror book. It's not for children. I will tell you, it's not for children. My daughter is into paranormal and ghosts and things like that. But once I started, because I read the back and I thought, oh, interesting, you know, I'll read it and, you know, maybe she'll want to read it. I got to as far as chapter 2 and I was like, nope, nope, not for her. This is for adults only. It is. I bought it from Lifeline for $1. But it is a fantastic read, but not for children. No, not for children. So this is something I'm currently reading. Normally I read consistently with a book. I just read it till it's finished. That's usually how I read. But this book has some undertones in it that is extremely creepy. It's not a simple read. It's okay, that's really a lot to take in. I need to take a break, put it down, come back to it kind of book. Fantastic, great. Like where it's going, like how it's going. It definitely a very good, you know, novel. But yeah, it's got some really creepy undertones. Like, it's got, I don't know, it's just, yeah, it's like, oh. I can tell you a little bit because, like, I always mark my videos as not for kids. In certain parts of the book, like, there's this girl here, I'm assuming it's her. She died in a storm and she's come back to seek revenge or something on the villages and stuff, and like the vicar has been seeing the children, the town vicar, he's been seeing the children, like a rainstorm comes and like she's back because she died in a storm, she's back with wild revengeance or something, and like the storm gets really bad and cuts out the power in the phone lines, and so somehow the vicar is walking up the church steeple where the bell is, and the ghost girl says to him, everyone has a choice, everyone has choices, you can either jump or I can push you, and he ends up jumping, but he ends up seeing all the children that had passed away. They're standing by their graves and stuff. There are other deaths in here that are way more. Yeah, it's really gruesome, but a really good read. On the one hand, it's a really good read. So it's like a take your time book. It's not a fluently read. I also have another one that I want to read after this one, which is The Key. I haven't read it. I don't know what it's going to entail. It's called The Key. The Fate of Man Lies in the Hands of One Woman, and it's by Simon Toyne. So I haven't read it. I read the back cover. It says, hounded, haunted, hunted. She is more important. She is the most important person in the world. She is the key. That's all it says. Literally. That's all it says. And I thought, check it out. I'm all about, I like different sorts of genres and stuff. I like different sorts of reads, like, love romantic ones. Love Niels and Boone, love Blaze, have a stack of books that are just, So let me go through the books that I have. Let me show you guys so you can understand my reading style. Oh, I have loads of books. If you didn't know by now, like a lot of people say, you know, you have your phone, subscribe, get books. Nuh-uh. Once that app is no longer, or once that app no longer stores that book, you pay for that book, but you don't keep it. It's not yours. You can't keep it. It's on the app. If it's not on the app anymore, well, it's not on the app anymore. I make sense of what I'm saying. You can choose to take what I'm saying and go, yeah, she kind of makes sense. Or you can say, nah, you worry about nothing. That's your choice. But, so I have this one. This one is The Memory Keeper's Daughter. This is about a person that, it's set back in the 60s. And this doctor, he's a bone doctor, but like, he goes to, his wife goes into labor. They're expecting a child. She goes into labor. The doctor had an accident on the ice and he couldn't get there, but because he's like some bone doctor or something, he still knows what to do, sort of. So he contacts the nurse and they go to the doctor's office and she's there with stuff set up. He ends up having twins, but he tells his wife that one died because it had Down syndrome. So back then they weren't, it wasn't called Down syndrome, and they were called mongoloids. So in the book, they're actually called mongoloids. So she, the nurse, and he gives the nurse an address and tells the nurse to take the baby to this address. It's a group home. When the nurse gets there, she finds things very badly, like very poorly, and she doesn't feel confident enough to leave the baby there. She's like, no, I'm not leaving the baby here. This is terrible. Like, you know, some of the things that she saw. So she ends up keeping the baby and raising her as, you know, it's a girl. She raises her, and then he finds out she's raised her and whatnot. And towards the end, her twin, the boy that they kept, he ends up wanting to get to know her, and, you know, the mom's very annoyed and angry at the guy. And he's like, we couldn't have cared for her. We couldn't have known that she was going to be healthy. They have heart problems. They have breathing problems, you know. Thankfully, you know, this little girl didn't have any of those. But, you know, it's a really interesting read. It's by Jodi Picoult. So, it's a really good read. This one, Working It, it's a Blaze book. It's pretty good. It's by Kathy Erdley. Not gonna go into detail on that book. A Touch of Temptation. It is by Ryan Byard. Intimate Beings. This one was about two people that were different. They weren't like, they didn't feel they were humans. They weren't, they had human forms and everything, and they were just like, you know, they felt there was something else about them, and they ended up finding each other, which they ended up finding, you know, their one true soulmate, and they realized that they're not of this world. They're, you know, some type of being. That was a really good read. Oh, hold on, let's see. It's by Jessica Englund. Really good read. Stripped. It says Dare. It's a Milton Boone book by Nicole Amash. Another Blaze book. No Regrets. This one was really special. It's not your typical hot and heavy romance. It is a love story where she gets her confidence. She has an accident and has a scar, and she always wears a scarf to cover it up, but then in the end, it doesn't matter because he shows her that this scar that she has from tracheotomy that she had when she had the accident. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That was a lovely read. Oh, it is by Cindy Myers. There is 2 books in one. I only read the one, Tough to Tame. So it's another romantic one. Oh, it is by, it's Milton Boon. It's a Harlequin book. It doesn't really have author attached to that. Basic training. He ends up finding himself again. He has an accident. He's an SO. What's the word? Special ops dude. And he has an accident and he comes back and finds his high school best friend, and then they end up being, more than best friends. This was a really good read. It is by Julie Miller, Basic Training. I read a lot of romantic books, but I also have other sides of books that I read as well. This one is The Officer. This was a really good read. It's about 2 officers, and one officer, they were trying to not be in love with each other, but the attraction was just too much. And in the end, he kept saying to her, no, you're like a sister to me, I protect you, blah, blah, blah. They've known each other. And he is best friends with her brother. And in the end, the brother's like, you love her, right? What's the hold up? Just get on with it. So, it was good. It is by Jeanette Murray. Another Blaze book. I only read one. I read the first one. It is called Dead Sexy by Kimberly Ray. It's a really good book. Now, this book, I actually read, it's Victor Keller, who wrote the book. It's called The Ivory Trail. Now, I actually read this in high school. I read it when I was in grade 12. I read this book, fell in love with the story and the things that happen in the book. It's about a family that have some sort of piece of ivory, some sort of trinkety thing that they touch it and they go back to the past. They end up having their mind goes back to the past and whatnot, and they go through. I'm not sure if it's past lives or they go through the past. They just go back to the past, someone in the past that comes forward to them, kind of like channeling. I saw this in an op shop and I was like, wow, that's that book. I read that in high school and I loved it. I loved the whole book itself. So it's Victor Keller, The Ivory Trail. Not all journeys have an ending. This book was fantastic. A very suggestible read. Besides all of the other books that I have shown you, this is a very suggestible read. And it's very good. It's just something I kind of fell in love with. But yeah, I have a lot of books that I read. I'm a reader. I'm a writer as well. I write lots of stories. So just recently I've gotten back into another fanfic of mine. But yesterday I saw something that made my heart melt. I'm a romantic at heart. So yesterday I saw a video that popped up as a recommendation. I follow Bars and Melody, the band, the duo. Love their music. think their music is great, but also I follow the fandom hype. I follow them not just for their music, I also follow them for Chadre, which is their ship name. Yesterday they were in the interview, they were, well, I'm not sure it was an interview, they were just, they just had like, they were telling people it's coming to an end, their journey and stuff. But Charlie called Leandre babe, and I just lost it. I was screaming, I was fangirling, I was like, oh, that's so cute. So then I went watching a whole bunch of videos about, you know, the fandom, which I'd already seen some of them before, but then I started watching a few more and a lot more, and then I decided I'd write a fanfic about it, because, well, that's what you do when, you know. I have there are other ships that I have as well. So I have so there is Chadre, which I just mentioned. There is Larry Johnson, obviously, One Direction. I'm gonna, you know, follow those boys forever. There is also, I'm not sure the ship name, but Adam and Charlie from the Mighty Ducks. I follow that ship too. It's not just a GAY ship either. I don't just go for GAY. So also there's Magnus and Ali Green from Shadowhunters. I follow that ship. I'm into the Pollen ship. I wholeheartedly into that one. Drari, I'm into that ship as well. There's so many, you know. Christian and Oliver from As the World Turns. Also, High School Musical, Chad and Ryan. There's loads more. I also go with Sharpay and I can't think of the boy's name, the one that does basketball, that also does cooking. Follow that too. Anyway, I you know, these are some of my hobbies. I write. I also write, you know, books that aren't fanfic. I also write things about just general, you know, stories, love stories. I also write children's books. I haven't had anything published. I don't publish anything, so I can't. I just get so scared because, like, I know it's not so bad nowadays, but I just get so worried that someone's gonna read my book and go, oops, yep, that's great. Nah, it's not great, you keep it, but then they've actually got a copy of it and they produce it as their own. That's my biggest fear, that someone's gonna take my work and go, that's fantastic, but nah, it's not anything, and then they publish it as their own. One of my greatest fears is that, pretty much. So yeah, anyway, this vlog has gone on way too long, but stay tuned for the vlog later on. We are going to the park. It's sunny outside and it's not windy today. It doesn't seem to be windy, so stay tuned for the park vlog. We are going. I don't know which one I'm taking, but I'll pick one and see where we go with that. Okay, bye guys. Thanks for watching. As always, comment, like, subscribe, and as always, be awesome. Bye.